Hello. Good evening. We have for you tonight another edition of Unsolved Mysteries. I'm your host, as always, Richard Stack, and I will be discussing disappearance of Rebecca Clisto, March 18th, 2023. We'll be discussing, details of the case and the disappearance over the months that have gone by. Some theories as well as some possible connecting disappearances that have happened prior to hers. And as always, if there's any information, the shady phone number is at the bottom of the screen. You can call us at the studio. Any information will help. But yes, let's get right into it. March 18th, 2023. Rebecca eats dinner with her family. She hangs out with her family for a little bit. She goes up to bed. All right. She does work the following morning. Parents get up about 7 a.m. She would usually be up at about 8 and ready to go by about 8:45. Well, 8:45 comes. She's not around, downstairs. They were even before that, like, oh, I wonder if she's just maybe took off or something. Go up to her room, knock on the door. No answer. They open it. She's not there. Her windows are not open. And they have cameras at the front door and the back door. There's also a camera on the side of the house where her window would be. So they reviewed the camera footage all throughout the night. Nothing on the side camera. Basic stuff. They saw a deer at one point. The Ring cameras, no alerts to the Ring cameras, because those Ring cameras will go off when something's there. They did not. So there was nothing. The doors were locked still in the house as well, which, of course, if she had just left. Yeah, maybe that would have been a thing, right? She would have just locked the door. There's no sign of forced entry anywhere in the house. The windows were all still shut, most of which were locked outside of the one in the parents' bedroom. There was no disturbances, no gates open. They found no footprints around the property. It had rained 2 days prior, and the ground was still wet because it was a heavy downpour. No footprints. You would have seen that. You wouldn't have been able to get past that. There's no tire tracks. They do have a dirt path going up their driveway. No tire tracks. Recent tire tracks, I should say, because they had not left. And Rebecca herself usually takes an Uber that would meet her at the street itself to go to work. Her car is in the shop. So they get worried. They call her phone, no answer. Her phone's not there. It's not at the house. It's nowhere in the house. They couldn't find it. The police couldn't find it. They tried calling it. They didn't hear it. It went straight to voicemail. They did leave a message on it. They've gotten no updates from that side of things. They did a sweep because there are woods around the house. People were searching the woods behind the house, the area, places she would hang out. They interviewed friends, other family members, because an aunt and uncle live in the same town. Thought maybe she went over there. Nothing. They even went to the mechanics where the car is, and they said, no, we haven't heard from her. The car's still here. It's supposed to be picked up on the 23rd of March. The parents did eventually bring the car back. But nothing. They found nothing, not a trace of anything. And they scoured these woods. They even went to county over because they talked to police, and there was 2 cases that are very similar of people just disappearing at night. No forced entry, no footprints, nothing around their houses. Just vanished. It's very interesting, but it gets even stranger because about a month after, I believe this was April 10th, 23, same area, about 2 blocks away. There's more woods. The woods go further back. People tend to set up game cameras back there to see deer, possible bear, whatever else. So a person's reviewing his footage from the night prior, and there's a woman on the shot. Now, this camera is mounted to a tree about 50 yards past, 50 yards behind where the house is. Okay. He's reviewing the footage. So this is just woods, it's a pretty good scope. He sees a woman in this camera walking, dressed in jeans, sweatshirt, looks like your sneakers. Hair seems to be disheveled. These cameras don't give you a great view. She's kind of staring at, not the camera itself, but straight ahead. Like the camera's there, but it's up higher. She's staring straight ahead, not looking up. But she's staring kind of towards the house for about 15 minutes. Walks to the left, turns the opposite way and is standing still. About 15 minutes. And then she walks. She turns back and walks deeper into the woods. That's what he gets. He thought this was strange, and he immediately thought of the disappearance of Rebecca. Gives it to the police. They review it. He also says, no footprints. No footprints at the scene here, where she was walking around. There's nothing, no footprints. Now, he's noticed this. He reviewed his tape because he didn't realize. He went out there to get the SD card out. There's no footprints. And then he reviews and sees, oh my God, someone was out there last night, and I saw no footprints. Very interesting indeed. No one has an explanation for that. Unless it was her ghost. Was it possibly her ghost? Maybe looking for something? These are theories people are giving. Anybody's guess now is welcome because they don't know. And then there was a second spotting of her 3 months after that. So this was July 3rd of 23. Once again at night. I will say, I might have forgotten this. This happened, the footage was from 2:03 to 2:35. Once again, another game camera. This is 5 miles away from the first camera sighting. Once again, woods. It's a very wooded town area. Person has a game camera. This time, she's like, you see her come into frame. She's like almost crawling. She crawls from out of frame into frame. And it's kind of going like this. Interesting indeed, right? And then it looks like she's digging. This is the thing, and all of a sudden the camera kind of glitches and she's gone. Camera goes, this time there were markings where she was digging. No footprints, no crawl marks because she was crawling. The ground outside of where she was digging was not disturbed. As well. She had dug maybe 8 to 10 inches. Nothing there. Nobody explains it. Same clothing that was being worn. But she looks slightly different now. The hair is more disheveled. And she turned towards where the camera was, and her face looked a little sunken in. Because they showed the parents, and they're like, that's her, but she looks unhealthy, almost sickly, ghostly. Once again, they search both these times they search these areas for anything, and nothing turns up. It's interesting. And there's been nothing since that July. So August, September, October. We're in October now. Nothing. They're thinking maybe something will happen soon. They don't know. They've told people to put up more cameras if they have them. They've had people out in these woods at night, just in case, people in shifts to see if they can find anything. Someone appears. Nobody knows. Now, the 2 prior disappearances happened in 2 counties over. Both were in the same county. They're 2 counties away from this one. Same thing, they disappear the same date prior years. The first one was March 18th, 2021. The other one was March 18th, 17. Same time period. They're picked up on cameras the same dates as well. Almost doing the same exact thing, slightly different things. But in that second video, they look different. They look slightly off to what they were in the first one. How people remember them. Now, with those 2 cases, additional videos did come up and then never heard of again. People still had their theories. Are they ghosts? Were they abducted by aliens? Yes, it's interesting. But they're losing hope. Everybody in the town is. They don't know what's happening here. And that's the thing. People are like, oh my God, they went through everything. She had no enemies that they knew of. Nothing disturbed in the house. They have ring cameras. Now, the first person who disappeared, that house had even more cameras. They had a few cameras set up in the house. Nothing. As well. Nothing. No disturbances, locked doors, locked windows. Nothing. No footprints, no anything. The second person did not have cameras, but once again, there was no disturbances. And these are people that are well liked and everything else just disappear. People really want to believe the alien possible abduction because, of course, alien technology, they can get in and get out with nothing. The thing is, the cameras in the case of the first house, there was no disturbances in the video. Sometimes, if something happens paranormal, alien related, the cameras will short circuit and there'll be a lapse in time, nothing like that as well. Now, the first house had some cameras in the house, but not everywhere. Obviously, in the rooms, there were no cameras. There was one in the living room, one in the kitchen, in the garage, I believe, and the basement. We don't know why these cameras were in these spots. So a lot of people with the theory of alien abduction come into play. It holds weight, of course, especially with the weird, erratic behavior on these videos where they drop back down, where they sent back down and then taken back up. Nobody knows. Like I said, phone lines are open. Yeah. So, we're hoping with this episode, more people might come forward with anything, any kind of theory or clue, anything. It's helpful. What was that? We have a phone call right now. You want to speak to me? Yes, this is Richard. Zach, yes. Thank you for calling. Do you have information on the case we're discussing? You do. You have proof of this. You're just another person making things up. "22 Wichita Street." What? They hung up. This person's telling us to investigate that address that was given. What do we do with this? I don't know. What do we do? We need to contact the authorities. But they told me, I don't know why they hung up, they told me their theory, there's tunnels throughout this whole massive layout of these 4 counties, actually. These 4 counties are separated by big woods. He's saying there's tunnels underneath. And from what he says, this address is where these tunnels meet. Apparently, this is just a kind of giant garage, apparently, is on this property. It's not a house, it's not a residential house. He's saying they all lead to here. I don't know why he hung up. We're gonna have to check. We'll call him, we'll go there ourselves. Maybe we'll do this live. But his theory is there's people coming through these tunnels, and these tunnels lead into people's houses, and they're getting them that way, and they're taking them out. How are they not finding these in their houses? Like hidden passageways these people would know, wouldn't they? Maybe not. I don't know. We're going to have to check it out, though. I think we can call them, yeah. And get in contact with the Shady Institute as well. We do partner with the Shady Institute, as you all know. They're experts in this kind of stuff, but even this case has been stumping them. They might be able to figure something out. We're going to end this episode a bit short here because we now have info. Can't give you anything else, but if you have any more tips, you can call that number. All right. Once again, this is your host, Richard Stack. We might be able to figure something out here, everyone. Let's hope. And good night. You think that's legit? You called the Shady Institute. What do they say? Yeah, of course they want to check it out. I'm tired of playing this part. We need to figure this out. We need to know what we're up against here. I don't know where these people go. What's happening? All right, let's check it out. Let's see if this tunnel thing's a thing. We gotta have to contact these families as well. Oh, we could be onto something this is true. And if they think it's true, we gotta go with it. Are they sending anybody? All right, good. All right, let's figure it out.